So what I'm going to do now is bring up a set of frequently asked questions. So on your screen, you should be seeing 1, 2, and 3. The most common asked question by far that our tech solutions and our sales teams are getting is, how do I get the update? Well, as long as you're on ACI 2010, then when you run web update, where you'd normally leave the special ID or the special update ID blank, this time you would want to type SP1 to bring down the Service Pack 1 installer. That'll ask you to click next, 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 a typical install, and then it'll launch web update automatically. And on the second time around, you would type UAD for the special update ID. Now, if you've already run the UAD special update ID and you've already patched up your machine to get that, we recommend running the special web update UAD about every Monday or so, weekly, for the next month or two, because as we are getting feedback from the community and finding ways we can improve the performance on older machines or things like that, because this is all new technology, then we'll be adding it into that UAD web update. So be sure that if you've already run it, keep running it again. There's no need to rerun the SP1. That's a one-time patch. The UAD is where we'll shove all the newest updates and features as they come. The second most frequently asked question is, will my templates convert? Yes, absolutely. Now that's related to number 3, but I'll speak to the templates first. The reason we say yes, you can change a copy to UAD is because it does not automatically upgrade all your reports to UAD format. That's been a point of confusion with some customers, and some lenders and AMCs have actually advised ACI users to not upgrade to the UAD because they weren't prepared for it. Well, as we'll speak about later, you, the appraiser, gets to choose when you use a UAD and when you don't. All your original report packs stay the same. All your original templates and clone files remain the same. You can change a copy of your template or a copy of your favorite clone files into UAD, but we don't mess with the originals. Those remain. Number 3 is, can I clone a non-UAD or convert an old report to UAD? Absolutely. There are 2 methods, file change report type and file change to from UAD. The file change report type is probably the more solid option, and that would be how you'd want to change a copy of your templates and your clone file sources into the new UAD report packs. The file change report type works just like it does if you had started an exterior or a drive-by 2055 report, and a day in, after you've already begun typing the assignment changes, and now it's a full interior URAR, you would click on File Change Report Type to change and move all your data into the new URAR form. Works the same way to go to and from UAD. The next most frequently asked question is, when do I have to use the UAD, or can I not use the UAD? And as I had mentioned just a moment ago, you get to choose whether you use a UAD or non-UAD compliant report based on the assignment instructions from your client. Now, undoubtedly, your clients will completely have their act together and never send contradictory information your way, right? In reality, we know that sometimes the people who order the appraisals may not have all the facts or give you all the details you need. So there's no harm in starting a report in a non-UAD, and then if they surprise you, a couple days into it and say that this must be delivered as a UAD compliant report, no problem. You have that in the bag. Just click on File, Change Report Type, choose a UAD report pack instead of just the plain vanilla report pack. Ta-da! You got the UAD compliant report. Number 5 most frequently asked question we get is kind of more of a practitioner's one, but we wanted to speak to it here. Will composing a UAD compliant report slow me down? Is this going to be a big monkey wrench? Is this going to be a big learning curve? It really does depend on your workflow. We're going to make it as easy as possible to comply. We're adding in what we think are the industry's most intuitive features and functions and pop-up windows to make understanding the Appendix D rules for data entry natural and fluid, and we think we're doing a pretty good job of it. We continuously take your feedback as well for the people who have installed the UAD and give that to our developers and project managers to make sure that we're taking in the community's perspective as well. So is it going to slow you down? Probably. There's going to be a bit of a learning curve. Luckily, ACI does not make you memorize all those abbreviations and unique drop-down combinations of letters and numbers and code. Our pop-up windows, the UAD compliance helper windows, let you enter in the responses in natural language, and we take care of the abbreviations under the hood. The sixth most frequently asked question should actually kind of be bumped up to number 2, but I haven't got back to that slide yet, is can I deliver an XML? Well, not yet, but it is coming in a future update. It'll be based off of your e-services menu, and yes, there will be a way you can deliver an XML file or export a copy of your report as XML. Now, some lenders or AMCs are calling that a MISMO file, and that's a bit of a misnomer. That's kind of like them asking you, can you send that file electrically? You know, saying they want a MISMO file doesn't give you enough info, but they often are struggling because they don't have their brains wrapped around the terminology either. So most likely, if a customer is demanding of you to deliver a PDF embedded in an XML or a MISMO XML, yes, you can tell them that function's coming soon, and it'll be based off of your e-services menu. Another frequently asked question that we get more from the technological side is, hey, Andy, is it safe to install this on just one of my machines? Well, yeah, you can install it on just one of your machines, on your laptop or your vacation machine, or if, you know, Johnny push button in the corner, if he's on vacation, go log into his machine and install it. The only weird thing that might come up if you do install ACI on just one machine, or install the UAD updates on just one machine, is that if on that machine you compose a UAD compliant report on the UAD forms in the UAD report pack, if you try to open that up on a non-UAD machine, then ACI just won't be able to display that form. It'll come up with a little no smoking symbol over the form, and that's just your way of saying, oh, okay, well, I need to run the UAD update on this machine too. But there's no harm, no foul in just trying it out. Number 8, most frequently asked question, is a big one. Can I still use my pick lists? Yep, your common responses will be available in all of the non-UAD prescribed response fields. And what that terrible phrase looks great on a Scrabble board, but typed it out here, it kind of looks kind of big and unwieldy. Yeah, if Fannie Mae has prescribed a set of drop-downs in a field, then we hide your drop-downs for that field and instead put theirs. That way we don't let you fall into a trap of using a old response that's non-UAD compliant. So in a non-UAD report, all your drop-downs are exactly where you'd expect them to be, right where you left them. In a UAD report, all of your drop-downs are right where you left them, except for a couple handful of fields where Fannie Mae has prescribed a drop-down list. Then you'll get theirs instead of yours. But like I said, it doesn't delete or modify your original pick list. The 9th most frequently asked question is, okay, I'm getting a little more comfortable with this UAD thing. I want to go ahead and turn off those pop-ups in a UAD report. Can I do it? No. But you can change the amount of information that appears on screen. What we mean by that is we don't want, like we said, to let you accidentally put data in a non-compliant format on a UAD report and then try and send that up the river and then get burned by it later. So those UAD pop-ups do have to be there in a UAD report and help you fill out the information in a UAD compliant fashion. But for the slick users who are a lot more comfortable with the UAD, or as you get used to it in the coming weeks and months, then you can turn off the amount of assistance that appears on screen. If you remember during the prepared presentation video, which I should remind you again, we'll be playing again after this as a courtesy, from that video you might have seen that those pop-up helper windows have a flyout window on the right that has the UAD Appendix D terminology and text straight from Franny and Freddie that explain what they're looking for in that field and what the definition of C1 is versus C2 and all that stuff. What we'll be doing is in your options environment, you can change whether that window flies out automatically or not, so that basically you can have it slimmed down to just the bare bones UAD helper window. Another frequently asked question we get that I don't have here on the slide is, where are my new forms? In fact, a lot of customers get this where they'll download the SP1 and the UAD updates, and then they can't find new report packs. The easiest way to do it is when you click File New and you give your file a name, whether you clone or not. When you're on the screen that allows you to choose the different report packs, such as 2055, 1004, 1004MC, all that stuff, you'll want to check the alphabetized box. That way it sorts them all by number and name. And then you'll see if you scroll down to the 1004, there's only one 1004 single family 2010 UAD.
and that should be right alongside the old plain vanilla 1004 single family 2010. Like I said, it just adds new packs. It doesn't mess with the originals that you got. Another frequently asked question we get is, hey, how do I proofread this? How can I be sure before I deliver? Well, we have a set of UAD validation rules, so we want to make that point again. We know it was in the prepared presentation, but we get a lot of questions about it in tech support. Your review master, you probably already use it to proofread for customers. The generic rules most people run is the PAR logic, and that's still a good solid E&O checker for your files. It does not yet contain the validation for UAD fields. That's separate. So that's a good 1-2 punch to check a UAD report, make sure it's good and solid, is run the PAR logic and then run the UAD validation rule set. I'm going to flip back to that first page just to reiterate how do I get the update. Number 1 there. Remember, you just want to make sure you're on ACI 2010. Most people are. You can check that by going to Help and About ACI Report and just run a regular web update. You might have the icon on your desktop, or you can click on Help ACI Web Update. The first time you try this, you'll want to install SP1 by putting that special update ID, that Service Pack 1. SP1 is a special update. Once that downloads, then it runs the web update for you automatically. And in the special update ID, you'll type UAD. And once you do apply the UAD, continue to do that UAD special update about weekly, either until we merge it in with the regular web updates once this no longer is optional and it becomes mandatory on September 1st for everyone, or just keep running it to take advantage of the latest improvements and features that we're going to add, such as the XML export. Now, this was, as I'd stated before, the NERDS approach. the 2 senior techs with ACI showing you how to, actually I phrased that poorly. I said 2 senior techs from ACI. We have many senior techs. We're just 2 of the senior techs. But I digress. This is just 2 guys showing you what to expect with the ACI updates in your software and how to get them and some conditions you want to be aware of when you're using it. The practitioner's approach, I can't speak about that enough, is from Rich and Dawn, Rich Hine and Dawn Molitor. They're our partners in educating you guys on the bigger picture, the practitioner's approach in the What is UAD training. Now, we have a ton of documents, including a UAD features document that's brand new on our website by going to www.aciweb.com and clicking on training at the top. You can also sign up to future trainings. By popular demand, we added, I think, 8 or 9 more of these trainings, both our How to Comply trainings that you just watched, or the What is UAD from Rich and Dawn. So lots of free trainings, lots of free documents and videos. Go check them out because education is power here. At this point, what we're going to do, besides thanking you for paying attention and groaning at my terrible jokes, is close out of the frequently asked questions, and technically class is dismissed. We're done. We got no more news to show you right now, but what we're going to do is play that prepared presentation video again, that 12-minute cycling video, just for the people who, like I said, came in a little bit late and their video started late and we had to cut them off when we went live, or for the people who just want to stick around again and watch the thing one more time. So again, check us out at aciweb.com/training. Check out our videos, check out our help documents, run some updates, get comfortable with your UAD, and we thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and listen to the presentation this morning. This is Andy Priestap signing off from sunny Palm,